Well, maybe. Hello and welcome to our April KTI Chat. Don't Coast Boost, keeping the energy alive. I'm here with Brendan from the East Coast, Melissa from the west side of PA, and we're so excited to be with you. Welcome, Brendan.
Thank you for having me. This is going to be so much fun to talk to you all today.
Yeah, so we're asking people to go ahead and introduce yourself, share your name, where you live, your job, and your KTI Summit year. Go ahead, Brendan, tell us about you.
So my name's Brendan Pell. I am a K-2 STEM teacher out in Exton, Pennsylvania. I work at a charter school, and it's lots of fun. I live out in Lancaster, and my year for KTI is 2024.
Great. Thanks for joining me. My name is Melissa Krenzer. I live in Grove City, Pennsylvania, which is halfway between Erie and Pittsburgh. And I teach sixth grade math at Grove City Area School District. And my KTI year was 2020 and 2021. And I've been a lead learner ever since. We have Megan joining us. So thanks for joining us, Megan from York. She's an English teacher and an adjunct professor.
Hi, Megan. Thank you for
Good
joining.
to have you. So excited about our topic tonight because it's springtime. We had a conversation in the hallway today, a bunch of teachers, and we're just done with some of the behaviors, some of the kids. So we need to really boost and not try to coast through the remainder of our spring. So we're excited to connect with our KTI family and share some ideas about finishing the school year strong. What have you been up to this spring, Brendan?
So this spring, I've actually been working on trying to develop the lessons for my agriculture units and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of talking back and forth with different teachers. Okay, I need to pull this student at this time. I need to pull this student at this time, just to get their idea about how we can better suit the agriculture program and be able to bring more STEM concepts that I teach into the agriculture. So it's pretty cool. What about you?
That sounds a lot cool. I'm going to welcome Jeremy in. Jeremy teaches 8th grade science. He was KTI 2025. And he's from Lebanon, which I think is like central PA, right?
Yeah.
So
it's right above Lancaster. So
it is. Well, of course, I'm getting ready for the PSSAs, which we have 2 more until we take the math PSSAs. So I taught my last little bit of content on Monday, and we're going to dive into some fun gamification. Next week is a game I created, of course, Star Wars theme, where they're basically doing a go through the galaxy to solve all the problems. And then we have some breakout rooms, and I'm going to do a room transformation. So lots of
I love
things.
That.
We have Jamie joining us. She is from north of me in Meadville. She's a chemistry teacher, and she was also KTI 2025. Thanks for joining us, Jamie.
Hi,
so
Jamie.
We'll go ahead and kick off our second question. Go ahead,
so
Brendan.
Our second question is, think about a moment for this year.
Wrong question. There we go.
Think about a moment from the year when your class felt alive and engaged. What were you doing and what made the moment work? Don't forget to include A2 and hashtag KTI Chat.
Oh, this is a good question. Of course, I'm going to have to answer that with gamification, playing a game, whether we were playing Capture the Kyber Crystal or one of our other review boss battle games, that they just get so involved and they just love it so much. Even my special ed co-taught class loves to play the games. They're so locked in. They want to do so well and they want to have fun, but they also want to win, and that means they have to know their math. What about you? When were your classes feeling alive and engaged?
So whenever we start using robots in my room, the kids definitely light up immediately. So right now we're working with Lego Education, and the kids are constantly like asking, saying, "Can we modify it? Can we build it more?" I'm like, "Go for it! Like you have these pieces, why not just like upgrade your robot to make it even better?" And like I tell them to make it like feel like they're in the actual environment that they're trying to solve the problem in. So it's pretty cool that kids are like problem solving without me guiding them. So it's like the kids are feeling very much alive in there and trying to solve problems.
And my guess is you have very few behavior issues because of that, because they're so locked in and engaged.
Most times, yes. Some kids are like don't want to work with the one partner and they always yell at each other. I'm like, guys, you guys been working with each other all year long. Just keep locked in. Stay locked in so you get
Right.
all this done.
Good. Well, Megan had some time to answer our second question. She also gamifies, and she had this Great Gatsby Monopoly game that they played, and she says they're asking for it daily at this point of the year. Like, can we do it again? You know, you had a good lesson when they're asking for it again. Here's what Jamie has to say. Go ahead and share with us that.
Jamie said at the beginning of the year we played a big sheet keep away. Oh, that's fun. Then I added again for PD session. I ran it right before break. The moment worked because everyone was actually participating and they wanted to defend their answers. It was the best. That's really awesome because like sometimes you're like trying to do those fun things with the kids and they're like, no, I don't want to do this. Or during a PD day, you're like, oh, I don't want to do this because it doesn't seem fun. But you got everyone participating, and that's amazing that you got everyone to participate for that.
Yeah, John Meehan played Big Sheet Keep Away with our KTI Summit last summer, and it was basically you're encouraging them to cheat, but you're trying to prevent the other teams from cheating. So you give them a topic to write things down or brainstorm, and then they have to write things down, but the other teams can try to steal, but yet you don't want them to steal. So like they're covering up their answers and
Yeah,
covering up the pages.
that's
Very
always fun.
cool.
Just encouraging the cheating part of it. That's hilarious because I feel like a
Yeah,
lot of kids are like, "That's my answer." Like, nope. It's like we're gonna all share.
right. Jeremy adds, when we were using Lego Education Science Kits, kids are learning while having fun. I know, I love the fact that these toys, like Legos, and like I use Magnetiles, like the toys, but we can use them for educational purposes. And then the kids think like they're getting away with something because they're actually playing with toys, but yet they're doing math.
Yeah.
Or in his case, they're doing science. And I love that he's partnered with Lego to do their science kits. And definitely, kids are feel alive and
Oh yeah.
engaged.
Jeremy, we
And
definitely we definitely have to connect about Lego education because I used like the little ones for my kiddos. So
very, very exciting. Um, I also love this time of year because you really know your students. Like you really invest that time in September and October getting to know them, and you know it's tough teaching kids. It's exhausting, but having those little relationships with them and getting to know them, and knowing what they like. So I know I have a lot of football fans, so I try to do some math problems having to do with football, or like what's the biggest thing now, right? Nidos, the
yes,
Nido ball fidget things that are just the bane of our existence, and like how can we use them for learning. And my student teacher was saying today, like she says if they come and sit and work with her quietly, they can borrow hers, and she lets them like fidget with her Nidos. So is that how you even say it? Nidos?
need to
I
use. I
don't even
think
know.
there's so many
But I was like,
variations.
yeah, but that's brilliant because like it's like the carrot and the horse, right? Like if you lead them to do their math homework, you can have this little treat of holding my Nido. Like I
Yeah,
just it's crazy, but if it works, it works.
my kids like
Um,
to bring a lot of toys to my room, so they like, can we use this toy? I'm like, I'll hold on to it until we get this work done, and then if we get this work done, maybe I'll give it back for you guys to be able to use it for like the remainder of class. They're like, okay.
yeah, yeah, that's great. When I taught fourth grade, I had dust pets, which were like these little erasers that were in the shape of like little animals, and they could earn them for their from like they could draw it out of a treasure chest, and they cost me maybe $5 for like 50 of them on Amazon, and they were allowed to keep them on their desk as long as they weren't toys and they were just like their little desk pets. And it was really fun because it was a good incentive, because then the kids are like, well, I want one of those, so I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z to earn a dust pet.
One of my
It was
friends
a lot.
does that in her room, and she does food and she sells shelters. She does the whole thing, and she's like
Oh, with a
constant.
dust pet.
And she always asks me, she's like, "Do you want them in your room?" I'm like, "No, please do not bring them in my room.
Yeah,
I do not need more things in my room."
for sure. For sure. Well, let's continue on to question 3. See if it'll get working for us tonight here. Here it comes. Question 3. So this is happening right now. When students start to check out, what are your go-to moves to re-engage them, and why do you think those strategies work?
So
So go ahead.
one thing that I do when my students are checked out, like sometimes sometimes I teach a subject that like the kids are like, "Oh, I've heard about this before," and like I like try to make it fun, but the thing is, I make a song for it now. So
Okay.
right when the lesson starts, right when they walk to my room, there's a song playing, and the kids look at me saying, "Why is there music playing in your room? You're not the music teacher." But like the song relates to the topic that we're learning about, and the kids are constantly like, "Oh my goodness, that's what we're doing today," and they get really excited about it. They keep asking, saying, "Can we keep doing that? Can we try it again? Can we play the song during work?" I'm like, "If we get a lot of work done, sure, we'll have the music playing in the background." So they have been
Yeah.
working really hard to get more songs in my room.
That's cool. I'll give a shout out to Verno, because he's the one that shared this with me when I moved to 6th grade, because he teaches 6th grade, and I didn't know much about 6th graders, and he said play music in between the classes. I have 3 minutes, and they come in, and they're getting their stuff settled. So the trick is finding clean songs for me. They'll request a song, and I'm like, oh, I don't know that one, but I found a couple different streams on YouTube to play that have like the clean versions, but
Yeah.
just some upbeat music. Sometimes they're oldies, like I'm Walking on Sunshine, or but definitely songs that just are upbeat to just give their brain a break from like going from drudgery to drudgery and more drudgery.
Hmm.
Just give that little light in the middle of their day. One of the go-to moves is, and this is going to sound silly too, there's this YouTuber called DJ Raffi, and he has like how to do dances. Like he does the cha-cha slide and the Cupid shuffle and the Macarena and Cotton Eye Joe, and like it's very clean, and he shows the kids how to do the footwork. And so like that's just a good little brain break, because they can get up and dance and move. So if I finish class a minute or two early, sometimes I'll put on DJ Raffi and let them, they like the Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah.
What about you? Any go-to moves to re-engage?
A lot of times, like when I walk into my room and the song's playing, because I use the AI's generator to make it, and they're like, "Can we dance?" I'm like, "Sure, that's fine by me." Like honestly, as long as you have a safe body near your seat, I don't care. Like as long as you get your body going.
Good. Jamie says she found an upbeat song list on Spotify. You'll have to share that with us, Jamie. Thank you. And Jeremy says, still trying to figure this out. He's teaching 8th graders. Yeah, there's definitely, you have to have your finger on the pulse of your students to know how to re-engage them. I mean, I never 5 years ago used the word lock in, but now I find myself all the time, come on, lock in, because that's like their phrase of like pay attention,
Yeah.
focus, tune in. But I'm like, lock in, and they get it because that's their language. Although I don't try to, I don't try to sound like their language a lot, because then they'll be like, no, Mrs. Spencer's definitely faking it. So Megan says, high school students sing along to a lot of musicals. Hey, that's funny, because I was wearing a crown and a cape today, and I was singing King George's song from Hamilton
Um,
today, and like 2 of my students knew what song I was singing. Da 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 da.
that's
So
great.
pretty very proud of myself for that one.
That's hilarious. The kids definitely love that.
Jamie's sharing her Spotify list, so if you can go on to the chat, you can grab that Spotify list. And Mary Jo has just joined us. She was KTI 2024. Welcome, Mary Jo. Thanks for
Hi, Mary
joining us.
Jo.
We're doing question 3, talking about how to re-engage our students. Why do you think those strategies work? Why do you think it works, like for my 6th graders, Jeremy, your 8th graders? Why do you think it works to use some of their words, some of their vernacular? Any thoughts on that, Brendan? Why do you think it works to use their words?
I think they think it's hilarious, to be honest, because
You
they're
think
like,
so?
I tell my kids all the time to lock in, and you're like, when they're doing their work, I'm like, you're cooking, and they'll like look at me saying, Mr. Powell, you need to stop, and I'm like, no, like you guys are working really hard, like, would you like me to say like you nice job, or you say you're cooking? They're like, neither. We don't want to hear it. I'm like,
No,
nope. I
if
have
they
to.
get
I have
the
to say.
math problem wrong, I'm supposed to say you're cooked, right? Because that would be the correct usage.
When I say you're cooking, you're like you're actually doing your work, and they're like,
Right.
Mr. Powell,
Yeah.
stop. You're too old for that.
So Matt's chiming in. She's strangely as AP students struggling with that now, trying to find those strategies to re-engage them. Maybe does it ask, like, could we ask them, like, what can I help you do? What do
Yeah,
you need me to do to help you re-engage? I mean, my go-to answer always is gamification. So that's what I'm doing this week. We're doing the sampler, the PSSA sampler questions, which is way boring. But if they do 15 problems, they get a token to get into the carnival at the end of class.
oh,
And the color of their token will tell them they're either get an upgrade, or it's a power up, or it's a power down. Like if they get a red one, they have to like play the game with one eye, and if they get a green one, they have to take a step back, but if they get a blue one, they get double the points.
So you want
So
those big
that's my
tokens.
like, yeah, so that's my go-to, like, hey, we're gonna do this really boring thing, but you're gonna have this token, and then we're gonna play. And they got to name they're in groups of 3, so they got to name their names. And there's some weird, like the Vanilla Queens, and we got Gary the Snails, and I mean, just like, do you have no creativity? These 6th graders, apparently, on the spot, they can't come up with a name, but they're keeping track. And I said at the end of the week, the winners get treasure chests. Like, hey, let's go.
The funny thing
So
is that
Jamie had a response. Second this, rage baiting them works sometimes. I don't know. I've never tried that.
I don't trust that at all. The funny
Yeah.
thing is that right now my 2nd graders are doing a research project, and whenever they find a fact and they really are proud of that fact, they can try to earn XP points from me. So the kids sprint, like you could see the kids like write down a fact that they get from their tablet, sprint over to me, and they're like, I want to tell you a fact. I'm like, go for it. Tell me a fact. They give me the fact. They have a chance of getting 5 points for their group, or they can try to get a chance it and go to 25, which is 25. They have to reach into a cup and just pull out their XP points, and they're like, they have to check it, saying what they got, and they tell me. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna mark it down. You got 5. You got 25.
Nice.
So like, the kids are constantly sprinting up to me saying, "Can we try for 25?" I'm like, sure. So like, some of the facts, I'm like, go try again. We need to reassess and lock in.
Yeah.
And he's like, but that's about pollinators. I'm like, I understand that, but like, it's not about what we're talking about in the class right now.
Yeah, so that extrinsic motivation goes far. Although Matt just chimed in and he says their go-to response, they're done, they don't care, all they need to do is pass, they already accepted to college. Like, I completely can understand that for sure, because you're teaching seniors, right? But that's where like maybe a little gamification can come in, because just the bragging rights of being the winner is more than enough to say, like, yeah, I'm already into college, and yeah, my GPA is that, and yeah. So that would be my thought here. Mary Jo chimed in too. She said there are a lot of breaks kids like, but sometimes you just let them walk around and talk. I also do rock, paper, scissors, like KTI. Yeah, the giant rock, paper, scissors game. The ones that lose cheer on the winner. The cheering crowd grows bigger. Yeah, that's always an amazing rock, paper, scissors.
Mary Jo, that was such a fun time when we did that at KTI. We were like,
yeah.
Everyone kept trying to find me, and I was already out. And I'm like, guys, I'm already out.
I actually did that at our vacation Bible school last summer, because I had like 5 minutes to fill, and I was like, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? I'm like, oh, rock, paper, scissors, giant game. And they loved it. And all the high school kids were helping the little kids. It was really fun. So Megan said, go ahead and share what Megan said.
she likes to remind them their transcripts get sent again once they finish the year. So that's definitely like, Matt, you could definitely use that. Be like, hey, your transcripts are getting sent by the end of this year. You better step it
Yeah.
up. Gotta lock in.
I don't know. That might. I help some, might not help others. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a really tough one.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to our fourth question. How do you balance keeping learning? Oh, sorry. Canva's doing something different for me. Okay, there we go. How do you balance keeping learning meaningful and rigorous while also keeping it fun and motivating at the end of the year? This is such a challenge because obviously we could do fun things all the time, but we still have learning to do. For me, I want to get them started on some seventh grade learning. I
Mm-hmm.
do a lot of seventh grade math to get them ready for the beginning of the year. Also, we have more behavior problems if they're not have a task, if they don't have, something to do, their behaviors get out of control, especially in sixth grade. Um, and of course, you got the grade, like you have a grade or this project's going to be graded. So, how do we keep it meaningful and rigorous while also making it fun and motivating at the end of the year? What are your thoughts on that?
So what I do to balance, like, so like half the time I do my lesson, like I tell them, I'm like, we can earn to go outside next class. Like I try to encourage that, just to like do fun activities outside. Just like we could bring out the like robots outside, but the thing is like sometimes I'm like, okay, maybe we can bring out some building materials outside. If we get this much work done, we can go like, and also I tell them like, if we can get like a lot of this work done, then I can give you guys free choice time on your tablets and work on some coding apps and everything like that. So I try to make sure like there's incentives out there, because all of my kids like different things, and they're constantly asking, saying, "Could we try this? Could I try that?" I'm like, "Sure," but we gotta make sure we stay focused on the activity now, so we get it all done.
I love the idea of choice. That's one of the things I build in. We do a project about data, and they make like a fantasy basketball team. This is our end of the year project, and they get to choose if they want a men's team or a women's team. They get to choose which information they have to tell me within reason. So choice is huge. Megan says, keep it relevant. The last thing I do with juniors is their Common App essay, so they see how it applies outside of the classroom. And then they're set up for a college app season. Oh, I love that, because they have skin in the game for that.
That's awesome.
And then Jamie says, I'll be honest, I'm struggling with this. Go ahead.
You can go.
Her kids are more focused on the game rather than the skill, so she has to limit games and fun because I made them learn the skill. So she is open to suggestions. That's tough, especially in such a highly academic subject like chemistry. It definitely has, you have to weigh the pros and cons of doing the game versus the content. Or can you condense the content and make the practice the game? And I know that's some of the things she does already.
Definitely, because that's the thing, is the kids definitely need like content, but like we sometimes have to limit how much like games time we can get for them. Mary Jo said, include their likes, interests, and named in most of the content. Easier to do with math than ELA. Yep, I definitely agree with that. Like some kid, like math is definitely, some kids are like favorites, or some kids are least favorites, but like everyone has their favorite topic in math, I feel like.
Yeah, and with AI, it's really easy to write problems around a topic that your students are interested in. Like I mentioned the Nidos earlier, or Taylor Swift, or football or basketball, or you could easily use AI to make all the math questions, or even your reading content for ELA. Some topic they're interested in. Any other thoughts on motivating at the end of the year? Do you have attendance problems in your school? The kids showing up?
I have a kid showing up late because they missed the bus, but that's for like, they do get to school most of the time. But like I do have some kids that get pulled for services during my special time, and I'm like, and a lot of the kids like resist on going to the other teachers. Like, I want to stay in here because we're doing something fun, and like I would rather not go. And sometimes they just need some motivation, be like, oh, we're gonna play a game, and that most times send some, but like sometimes the kids are like, I'm not going. So like just trying to
Yeah.
keep the other teachers motivated too, because like we're all feeling
Yeah.
the tiredness and stuff like that, but like we just have to keep going because I know that like we all can do it.
Yeah, it's hard. Like the reason I asked is because at the public school I have like 4 or 5 students every year that miss upwards of 40 days of school or more, and you try your hardest to get them caught up when they come back, but then they miss again, and that's hard to keep for those kids to get them like those kids motivated to
Mm-hmm.
come to school. I do my weekly battle game, my galactic battle on Fridays to incentivize them to A, do their homework, and B, show up to school on Fridays, because that's when we do it. And if you don't show up Friday, you don't get to play that week, and then you're going to lose out on your XP points. So I've built in little things to help motivate them to come. And like I said, I'm going to do this fun project about basketball where they have a lot of choice built in. We are doing something as a team for PSSAs if they use their scratch paper. Obviously, we can't read their test, but if we can see their scratch paper and they sit quietly when they're done, they take a reasonable amount of time to do it, they're going to earn tickets. And then we're going to have like a carnival where they can spend those tickets and play games and do crafts and things like that.
They do that with the older kids from my school.
Yeah, and it's just something we're going to try this year. We're going to have parents donate things to help those kids again incentivize doing the things we want them to do on their test. So just some great comments, great conversation tonight about keeping learning meaningful and rigorous towards the end of the year here. So we're just going to go ahead and conclude our chat. We're going to look at some things coming up. First, we wanted to thank our sponsors, which include, here it is, ClassLink, EduSpire, Lego Education, Toddle, Sam Lab, and Teachers First, as you saw tonight. We just want to shout out a couple events happening that are located on the PAECT website. This Saturday in the Northwest region, in my neck of the woods, right down the road from me, Slippery Rock University is having Ed Camp, and it's co-sponsored by PAECT. It starts at 9, goes till 2:30, and this is going to be an awesome time to learn and grow. And PAECT student chapter for PAECT, I'm so excited, is they're helping to host this as well. I just
That's
realized
awesome.
I missed a couple comments here because I didn't scroll down. So I'm going to put the comments up. So Mary Jo says, include their likes, interests, and names in the content. Oh, we did that one. Jamie mentioned attendance is a huge issue to her. And then Mary Jo said third graders like taking their workbooks outside to learn. So yeah, there's a good idea too. Sorry, I missed those. Go ahead and tell us what's else on the calendar.
On Saturday in the central Pennsylvania area, the Tech Engineering Research Symposium in Williamsburg is coming. And it's for premium members, it's only $40.
Yeah, so this is the Tech Education Research Symposium. It's the TERS, and it's going to be a great time. And encourage if you're in that area to stop on out. Also in my region on April 30th, the Northwest region will be hosting Extra Mile Award Dinner. I can tell you that Jamie is an award winner. She put that on social media this week. It is a beautiful restaurant. It's right on the Allegheny River, and it's sure to be a good time.
And at that same night, on April 30th, there's a virtual event called Canva Tasting, sponsored by the Northeast region.
Yes, so that'll be exciting. And then looking into May, we have the Southeast region event at Top Golf in the King of Prussia near Philly. So if you're near Philly, take a look at that event. It should be neat. And isn't it cool that they have a STEM curriculum that goes with Top Golf?
I will be going, so
you're going to be there. Great. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll be back in July during KTI Summit. And until then, keep working on those pillars of connect, develop, lead, and advocate. And know that your KTI family is always here to help. Have a good night and a great rest of your school year.